All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Do Hard Things podcast. I'm your coach, leadership trainer, Jay Teagues, founder of the Do Hard Things Nation. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about cultivating a positive mindset, which is going to be the key to your success. I'm solo this morning. Angie is out on assignment. She's a photographer, and she had an early morning out at Fort Leonard Wood shooting. I think it's the drill sergeant of the year competition. So she's out there getting after it this morning. So it's just me this morning, and this podcast is going to be just a quick overview of a topic that is near and dear to my heart at the moment. But before we get into that, just a couple of housekeeping things. Make sure you smash that subscribe button so you're notified of future episodes, and leave us a review. It goes a long way for us expanding the Do Hard Things empire. And share it with some of your friends. Take a screenshot, share it with a couple of your friends, and let us know, like, what did you think about the topic today? This episode is sponsored by The Forge. The Forge is a high-performance community, which we basically have a collaboration, a community of like-minded people who are rowing together. And the whole concept is, we empower everyone. We empower everyday people to become world-class leaders. And our mission is to help people cultivate the growth mindset that we're talking about today, so you can win and live at life. And we provide networks, frameworks, and accountability to help you succeed, and help you navigate the challenges of life. And as iron sharpens iron, so does one sharpen another. And we need a community of like-minded people to grow together. We're also sponsored by Do Hard Things Apparel. We have high quality apparel that inspires you to crush your goals. So go get your Do Hard Things shirt, hat, and go to dohardthingsnation.com. You can see what upcoming events that we have coming up. And the next event that's on the schedule is the Do Hard Things 5K and 9.11 mile run and ruck at Cooper's Landing on 9 September. And so we have a virtual option as well. And so you're going to want to go check that out. So go to www.dohardthingsnation.com to be a part of that. So let's talk about cultivating a powerful mindset. Now, look, our mindset can be very much like a terrorist, and it will drive you off a cliff if you let it. We have our emotional brain and we have our logic brain, and oftentimes our emotional brain will take control. And look, there are four main lines of effort that we talk about here in the Do Hard Things Nation. And you have various life arenas, but these are the four major life arenas that if you can focus and dominate these four areas, it will help you achieve a fulfilling and lasting and healthy life. And the first one is your health and your wellness. Second one is your affluence and wealth. Third one is your relationships. And then finally, your developmental learning. And here's the deal, though. Your mind will compromise your ability to achieve success in these areas. And if you are faltering or struggling in one of these areas, it will have a just permeating effect over other aspects of your life. For example, if you're in the shitter with your relationship, if you're struggling with your relationship, it's going to cast a dark cloud over how you show up to the gym. It's going to show up in your finances. It's going to show up in your learning. And so we've got to be able to cultivate a growth mindset that enables us to be resilient, to be disciplined. So we have this, so we can win in those areas of life and feel happy and fulfilled. And so if your mindset is something that you have to work on, just like you take the body to the gym, you've got to take your mind and cultivate it. You have to work on it, which is one of the reasons why we created the Forge. It's a place where you can focus on developing a positive mindset. But that's not the only. There's a variety of different modalities. We'll talk about how you can improve that. But that it is critical to focus on growing your mindset. And so, the cost of having a weak mindset is stagnation. When you have a weak mindset, you're likely to avoid challenge. You're going to get stuck in your comfort zone, and that leads to lack of growth and development, and ultimately, misery. You're going to miss out on opportunities. A weak mindset leads to fear, which compromises our ability to take action. It leads to fear of failure, and that's where we capitulate to the judgment of other people. It prevents us from taking risks, and we miss out on tremendous opportunities. compromises our ability to be resilient. And we talk a lot about this podcast about being resilient to life's challenges. When you have a weak mindset, when life rears its ugly head and wants to knock you on your ass, that's, having a weak mindset uh, just adds more struggle to your life. It's very difficult for you to navigate in a positive way over these obstacles that come into your life. It affects your ability to bounce back from failures, which compromises your resilience. It leads to poor decision making. A weak mindset leads to indecisiveness, which when you don't make a decision, it can impact you. When we have the analysis by paralysis, and we choose an easier path, which is usually a poor decision, could lead us. There's second and third order long lasting effects to that, and then ultimately a lower self esteem. A weak mindset results in doubt, low self confidence, which negatively impacts our mental health and our personal relationships and how we show up with ourselves. When you have a lowered self esteem, you don't feel good about yourself. It's going to be very hard to be happy if you have low self esteem, or if you go into a situation where you're not feeling confident. So, the power of a disciplined mindset affects every aspect of your 4 lines of effort in your life. You want to master the hard in your life, which is your health and wellness. You want to be able to, show up and have the discipline to go to the gym and eat healthy, because that's going to create positive energy in your life, but physical, mental, emotional, spiritual energy into your life. You want to have, a disciplined mindset when it comes to your affluence and your wealth building. It takes discipline and grit. You have to work on the knowledge of what it's going to take you to create abundance in your life, and then have the discipline to, manage your finances so you have the wealth and abundance that you need to do the things that you want. Your relationships. Are you committed in your relationships, or are you one that falters? Do you show up and do you show up with intention, living the love languages and pouring in, or are you living in your relationships by default? And having a positive mindset gives you a sense of awareness and enables you to support up or show up with intention, in this critical aspect of your life, which is your relationships. And then you're learning. If you're not learning, if you're not growing, then you're dying. So are you disciplined about your ability to learn? Do you have an open growth mindset where you're deliberately trying to learn a new skill and focus on that? Is this, because if you don't sharpen your saw, if you don't sharpen your edge, it's going to be the more knowledge you have, the greater your ability to navigate life's challenges. So, having a powerful, positive mindset enables you to embrace challenges that come up into your life. It enables you to embrace opportunities for growth and learning and continued development. It enables you to take more risks. With risk comes reward. You have more resilience in your life. You make better decisions, and you have more confidence and improved self-esteem. So, there's certain people in our life that that we admire. I look at Michael Jordan. This man was, in his he sucked at basketball early in his life, but he continued to show up and play and worked his ass off, and he became an icon in basketball because he just had that growth mindset and he stuck to it, and he was disciplined in all of his endeavors. If you look at Elon Musk, this guy was ousted as a CEO from his one of the companies they started, which was PayPal, and but he cultivated his mindset is there where he created SpaceX and Tesla, and he's constantly in the news, and people are constantly like blasting this guy. They laugh at him, they call him crazy, but his determination and resilience and unwavering discipline is enabling him to do incredible things. He's someone that I definitely look up to. You can't have a weak mindset and do the things that he's doing. And so here, let's start off with evaluating, where is your mindset at? I got a couple questions here for you to think about. So here's some thought-provoking questions to assess, where is your mindset? So what is your initial reaction when you face a challenge or difficulty? Do you embrace it as an opportunity to grow, or do you shrink in frustration? So think about anytime there's a new challenge or opportunity in your life. Do you embrace it as an opportunity? Because high-performing people look at challenge and they're like, hell yeah, bring it on. It's an opportunity for me to grow. And people that have a weak mindset are like, oh, they just avoid it. They go to the comfort zone. They're not even going to embrace it. So what is your reaction when you face a new challenge? How do you handle failure and setback? Do you look at it as a stepping stone, or does it discourage you from trying again? So sometimes we have failures and setbacks, but do you let it completely knock you on your ass, or do you learn from it and do you use it as a stepping stone? Do you fail forward? How do you, when you look at failure, how do you look at that? So that's an indicator of whether you have a good mindset or a weak one. How do you perceive your abilities? Do you believe that you can improve and grow with practice? Or do you feel that your abilities are fixed and can't be changed? Some people have the ability, they just believe that, what their skills and abilities, that's the limit. There's no opportunity for growth. If you have the opportunity, if you feel that opportunity, when opportunity arises and you can improve yourself with effort and practice, that's an indicator of a good, strong mindset. How do you react when others succeed? Are you inspired by them, or do you feel threatened and envious? Now, this is a big one. So when you see other people winning, are you clapping, or do you find yourself being jealous? Because that's an indicator of a positive mindset versus a weak, strong mindset versus weak. How often do you step out of your comfort zone? Are you out there regularly seeking out new experiences that push you out of your comfort zone and challenges, or do you prefer to stick with things that are familiar and comfortable? How do you handle stress and pressure? Do you see stress as a natural part of life and have effective strategies to cope with it? Or do you let stress control your emotions and drive your actions? People with a strong mindset see it, they identify the stress and they can handle it, and they know what they need to do to de-stress. Some people allow the stress to just take control. Do you have a clear sense of purpose? Do you have an understanding of what you want in life, why you do the things that you do, and your goals and what you're trying to strive for? Or do you just live by default and let life happen? And your goals and your identity is wrapped up with what everyone else is doing. You're so caught up in FOMO because you don't know what you want for yourself. That's a big one. A lot of people struggle with that one. Do you know what you want? That's an indicator of a strong mindset versus weak. And so, we have to, these are just evaluation questions to kind of give you an indicator. And unfortunately, there's no like absolute right or wrong. You have to score yourself on those questions to determine, where you're at. But if you want to cultivate a strong mindset, I'll give you some strategies to do that. The first thing, and I wish this is such a difficult thing, which is why when I sit down with a client, we have to rate ourselves 1 through 10. It gives us a good indication of where we're at. But everyone has different goals. Everyone has a different scale of relativity when it comes to this. But here are some strategies. So the first thing you want to do is find opportunities to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, which is why, going to the gym every day, like as soon as I'm done with this podcast, I'm going to go to the gym. I'll be honest, this morning, I don't really want to go. It's one of those days. It's not, usually when I lace up in the morning, it's not one of those things that it's like every day there's always a resistance to it. But I know that when I get there, it's going to be uncomfortable. But when I get into the rhythm, I'm going to feel good about it. And it's having the discipline to show up anyway, even when I don't want to. So finding opportunities to get comfortable being uncomfortable, that's one of them. Getting comfortable having tough conversations with people, getting comfortable doing the things that you know that you need to do that you don't necessarily want to do. We will go out of our way to avoid pain. We will avoid pleasure. We will seek pleasure. We will go out of our way to seek pleasure just to avoid pain. And because of this environment that we have in the world where everything is just created for comfort, we avoid the difficult things. And that leads, going long enough that it will lead to a weak mindset. And so you've got to be disciplined about finding opportunities to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace discomfort that comes with challenges, and doing that in a controlled environment enables you to be resilient when life gets difficult. You need to set goals and chase them. Set clear goals for yourself, not goals that someone else is chasing that you think would be a cool idea and fun, but your own goals. What are your goals when it comes to your health and your wellness? What are your goals when it comes to your affluence and wealth? What are your relationship goals? What are your developmental goals? Identify what those are and chase them down and complete them, follow through all the way through to the end. A strong mindset person will identify clearly what their goals are, and they will stop at nothing to see it through. So many people struggle. Some people are really good at setting goals, but they're not good at achieving them. And so getting into the habit of completion, having that grit and fortitude to see it through is incredibly important. All right, next strategy, practice self-discipline. All right, this isn't easy, but it's identifying the things that you need to do, going to the gym, eating healthy, going for that run, sticking to it, identifying a budget and sticking to it, maintaining your relationships, identifying a new skill. You want to learn something. A lot of people have the idea like, I want to learn this thing. I want to become like a real estate agent. And, but the challenge to that, it's not an easy thing. You have to go and you have to self-study and take an exam, and you have to show up every day and study. And that's one of the things about, certification like that, that's incredibly difficult, is that you have to have the discipline to show up every day and see it through. And so practicing self-discipline, whatever that is for you, and showing up consistently with that. All right. Maintaining a positive attitude, even in the face of failure, staying positive. That could be a difficult one to do. But, having some mantras or words of affirmation when things get tough, like your clarity words, having some bullet point statements, setting some rules for yourself to help remind yourself to have a positive attitude. This is a sign of a strong mindset. And then you want to surround yourself with the right people. You're the average of the people that you spend the most time with. So surround yourself with disciplined individuals who have a strong mindset, and do what they're doing, mimic what they're doing, leverage them when you're feeling weak. Even people that have a strong mindset or have a weak mindset from time to time. That's one of the tools. They leverage their team of people around them, who you want people around you that are going to push you and hold you accountable. And so our mindset can be very much like a terrorist. All right. So, one of my favorite books is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And, one of the favorite lines in that book is, a man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all of his thoughts. And your mind is just like a garden. A garden will bear fruit. It will bear something, whether you cultivate it or not. If you have a garden and you ignore it, what happens? It gets populated full of weeds. So the point of that is something is going to bear in your garden, and your mind is very much like a garden. If you don't pluck those little weeds out, it's going to overgrow. A good garden, is one that's going to produce fruit and the abundance and all the food that you need, the healthy food that you should be eating anyway, right? We should all be growing gardens. But, it's cultivating that garden, and then, having good, healthy tomatoes, having good lettuce, all the things that would come into a garden, good corn. Those are all the hallmarks of a positive mindset. But if you do nothing to a garden, what happens? It's going to get overgrown with dandelions and all those other crazy weeds. And so we have to take care of our mindset and be deliberate about that. Another favorite book of mine is by Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning. So Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who found purpose in the darkest, time of his life. You think that your life is rough? Go read that book, because I'm telling you, he shares, his experiences, and he chose his attitude. He chose his mindset, even in the most inhuman condition. And not only did he just survive the atrocities of that, he took that as an opportunity to contribute to the world of psychology and talk about, the purposes of life. And it was a profound book that, had he not done that, he wouldn't have made a great impact. So he in the most dire of consequences, he uses an opportunity to create something great. And so that's the power of a disciplined, strong mindset. So, all right. So that's it. I mean, the mindset, the 6 inches between your ears are incredibly important. And it's something that you have to work on and strive toward and cultivate. And, it's something that needs to be in the forefront of our mind. So I would just encourage you, whatever your strategies are to cultivate a strong mindset, do those. And that's one of the reasons why we created the Forge Mastermind community, is because it's a space. It's a gym for your mindset, because it's something that needs to be worked on and cultivated. And oftentimes we overlook that critical aspect. But if you want to dominate and win in 4 areas of your life, your health and wellness, your affluence and wealth, your relationships, your developmental learning, you've got to focus on cultivating a strong mindset. So if you'd like more information on that, go to lionsguide.com. You can join us there. That's it. That's all I got this morning, guys. I'm going to go ahead get myself into the gym, drink a little bit more coffee. I don't have a weekly spotlight winner this week. The bottom line is this: we haven't had any nominations lately, which is really kind of unfortunate, because I know there's some people out there getting after it, but we need some nominations from you. So I have no one this morning, but if you'd like to nominate someone for the Do Hard Things weekly spotlight winner, we want to highlight someone that's out there getting after it, who's being a role model. Reach out to me directly. Go to dohardthingsnation.com. Reach out, give me just send a photo and a quick summary of why someone should be nominated for that, and we will send them a shirt. So, guys, that's all I got for this morning. I'm going to go work on my mindset this morning and my body, get moving. It's Monday. We're off to a new week. I hope wherever you're at, you're doing well. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. So in the meantime, keep doing hard things. We'll see you guys soon.